Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show, on our journey and almost there to 250,000 subscribers. Then, by the way, I'm going to ask you to help me to get to 500 and then 1 million and so on, because this group must continue, not just up to the election, but thereafter as well. Now, the other day, Michelle Obama, God bless her, Michelle Obama was in Kalamazoo, Michigan with Kamala Harris. And while they were there, Michelle Obama was challenging men to vote and to support Kamala. Why? She makes this great point about how we are, and I talk about this all the time, how we are sane-washing everything that Trump does and what he says. Play the clip.
So I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little frustrated that some of us are choosing to ignore Donald Trump's gross incompetence while asking Kamala to dazzle us at every turn. I hope that you'll forgive me if I'm a little angry that we are indifferent to his erratic behavior, his obvious mental decline, his history as a convicted felon, a known slumlord, a predator found liable for sexual abuse, all of this while we pick apart Kamala's answers from interviews that he doesn't even have the courage to do, y'all.
If this doesn't grab you, then I don't really know what will. NPR went ahead and they put it that, and I'm going to quote it from them, that speaking directly to a stark gender divide that polls show is a feature of this presidential campaign, Michelle Obama, she railed against, and here's the quote, the lie that we do not know who Kamala is or what she stands for, and saying that there are just too many voters out there that are shrugging off Trump's character and his track record on a wide range of issues. By the way, how many times I've been on television or even on these episodes here on the Michael Cohen Show talking about the concept of sane washing. Thank God Michelle Obama is finally bringing that concept out. She then goes on and she's pleading that women's lives are worth more than men's rage. That's again trying to divide this gap on why men, and look, I was on the other day with Alex Witt on MSNBC, and I call it for what I see it. All right. What is it that this group of MAGA, why they refuse under any circumstance to vote for Kamala Harris? And they'll tell you, and I've had people turn around here, Upper East Siders in New York, turn around and say, I can't vote for Kamala. I don't like her smile, right? I don't like her laugh, her giggle. I don't like her teeth. No, seriously. I've had people say to me, I don't like her mouth formation. Let's be honest with each other. At least this community, we need to be honest with one another. They don't like her because she's black and because she's a woman, plain and simple. But here is when Michelle Obama turns around and she's pleading to people. Understand the choice is clear. And that's why she's pleading that women's lives, to the men in these women's lives. And it doesn't have to be your wife. It doesn't have to be your sister. It could be a niece. It could be a friend. It's worth more than our rage. Play the clip.
And to the women listening, we have every right to demand that the men in our lives do better by us. We have to use our voices to make these choices clear to the men that we love. Our lives are worth more than their anger and disappointment. And we are more than just baby-making vessels.
Yeah, right. And then she goes on to talk about women being collateral damage. Play that clip.
But to anyone out there thinking about sitting out this election or voting for Donald Trump or a third-party candidate in protest because you're fed up, let me warn you, your rage does not exist in a vacuum. If we don't get this election right, your wife, your daughter, your mother, we as women will become collateral damage to your rage. the women and children you love and tell them that you supported this assault on our safety?
No, I am not. All right. As a girl dad, not a chance. As the uncle to multiple young women and so on, and hopefully one day to be a grandfather to a granddaughter, fuck no. All right. Then Michelle goes on and she decimates, she crushes Trump by talking about his lack of emotional maturity. Play this clip.
So do you think Donald Trump is thinking about the consequences for the millions of women who will be living in medical deserts? Does anyone think he has the emotional maturity and foresight to come up with a plan to protect us?
No. The answer is absolutely, emphatically no. But let me go one step further, Michelle. Let me go one step further. It's not just women that he is emotionally immature about, that he has no plan. He has maybe a concept of a plan. It has to do with anyone or anything that is not demonstrating loyalty and total fealty to Donald Trump. It makes no difference who the person is. Doesn't matter if you're black, you're white. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. Doesn't matter if you're tall, short, brown hair, blonde hair, red hair, gray hair. It doesn't make a difference. Donald Trump only cares about one thing and one thing only, and that is himself. And if you don't care about the one thing that he cares about, you are an enemy and you will suffer. That's the emotional maturity of a leader, of a dictator, of a Führer. All right. Then she goes on and she makes this really incredible point, this great point, that Kamala Harris acts like an adult. Play that clip.
And she's doing it all with vigor and with grace. That's because Kamala Harris is a grown-up. Grown-up in the White House. Someone with the maturity and fresh ideas to keep moving our country forward. Kamala is the only candidate in this race who has outlined a clear set of policies, including focusing on lowering costs and reducing drug prices for all Americans. Giving tax.
Trump has a plan that he does. And the plan is Project 2025. Make no bones about it. And if you haven't read any chapter in Project 2025, just read chapter 14. Maybe if you have time, read chapter 17. Those two should be enough to scare the piss out of you that you understand that is his plan. His plan is to dismantle our tripartite system of government and to confer all power to the executive branch, specifically the chief executive, also known as the president. Plain and simple. And now he has the Supreme Court of the United States that had granted him presidential immunity. And I shouldn't say just him. It's obviously Joe Biden right now is the president. All right. The difference, though, is that Joe Biden would never do the things that Donald Trump is thinking about. Now, lastly, Michelle speaks about Trump's lasting effects after his presidency. This is really very, very important because this isn't about 4 years past, potential 4 years going forward, and then the future. This is about forever. Play the clip.
This was just the tragic exclamation point on his disastrous presidency, installing judges and justices who have now stripped away our reproductive freedoms, cracking down on protesters marching to protect their sons from being shot because of the color of their skin, rolling back protections for LGBTQ Americans, fanning conspiracy theories, unleashing hatred in our communities. And then, when the American people fired him from a job that was too big for him to begin with, he tried to steal it, egging on a violent mob that breached our nation's capital. And when told that his own vice president was in danger, you know what he said? So what? So what, y'all? He said, so what?
Look, there's nothing more that anybody can say, not me, not any of the moderators on television, not any of the pundits. You hear it for yourself. You know that Donald Trump is the wrong person for the office of the presidency. Again, he was wrong back then. I didn't see it, but I see it now. And I'm imploring on each and every one of you, please make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you go to vote.org. Many people have told me that they have been thrown off the roster. How, why, they don't know. They don't know, but you need to double check. You don't want to get to the voting booth and then find out that you're not registered to vote. So go there, it takes 10 seconds, literally 10 seconds, and make sure that when you do vote, make sure that you vote Harris Walz 2024. Hey everyone, first of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.